And I wondered what I might talk to you about today, and to the extent of the theme for the vlog seems necessary. I couldn't help reflecting when I was riding on Saturday at the number of riders who didn't return my nod, and I'm not talking about the scooter rider that I probably unfairly pointed up in the vid, but I mean motorcycle riders. And it could be that they were just focused, given that fortunately much of the road was clear and fast. It could be that they were just concentrating on their ride, except that I noticed there's a number of them, those who didn't nod to me, had nodded to my mate who was riding up front on a different style of motorcycle. And that got me reflecting on tribalism. So that's the theme for today, tribalism, because it seems to me that an awful lot of bikers won't nod at other bikers who are riding motorcycles that are not of a style of which they personally, or their mates presumably, approve. So you've got sports bike riders who see Harley riders as if they were some kind of cager on two wheels. Now, I don't ride a Harley, I ride a Triumph, but it's what's called a classic Triumph. In other words, its style is of a different era. But I'm not sure why that should matter to anybody else except for me. I don't particularly concern myself with what other kinds, be it make or model of car that other car drivers drive. So why should anybody give a damn what sort of motorcycle I ride, any more than I could care less what sort anybody else chooses to ride. But it's this curious thing that people, it seems to be hardwired into our genetic makeup, this desire to not only to belong to a definable group, but then to let that morph into something less healthy, where we also have to have other groups whom we despise. Now, you would think, wouldn't you, that motorcyclists as a group are presented with enough animosity from non-motorcyclists that they would want to encourage and welcome all of the two-wheel fraternity, whatever style of motorcycle or even scooter they're riding, because the more people who exercise, I won't describe it as a right, very little in life is a right, but the desire, the propensity to ride on two wheels as opposed to four, the more accustomed people are to seeing it, the less inclined they are to mistrust or dislike or just generally exercise prejudices against motorcyclists. But that idea doesn't seem to carry any weight with some members of the motorcycling fraternity. As far as they're concerned, you ride their style of bike or you should stay off the road. And it isn't just motorcycling, is it? It's literally every walk of life. Everything we do seems ultimately to get distilled down into what is a destructive desire to resent, despise, hate, have contempt for, or generally just disapprove of somebody who's doing a similar thing but in a different way, or even something that's completely different but is otherwise harmless. And you see it in politics, you see it in religion, you see it in sport, and on one level it's not harmful. I come from, well, not far from Liverpool. If you're a football supporter there, generally speaking, apart from the odd Tranmere Rovers fan, sad people that they are, no, I don't mean that. I used to go and watch Tranmere myself. But, you know, if you follow first-class football there, you're either going to be a Liverpudlian, a follower of Liverpool FC, or an Evertonian, a follower of Everton FC. And you get different preferences even within the same family. So, you know, one brother might be an Evertonian, another brother might be a Liverpudlian. There's no ill will in it. You know, beyond the ordinary banter that you get, particularly in advance of a derby game, that's a game between them. It's all good-natured stuff. It isn't harmful. They wear their tribal colours with pride, but without animosity. But somehow, in the wider scheme of things, people don't seem to be able to confine themselves to that kind of harmless affiliation. Somehow, all too often, it seems to morph into something else, something that's akin to a desire almost to hate someone else for no better reason than they are someone else, that they aren't wearing your colours, your badge, they don't share your affinity to a particular cause or geographical location or whatever it might be. And it seems to me that's unfortunate, and it's doubly unfortunate, I think, when it manifests itself amongst people who are essentially engaged in the same interest, the same activity, the same, hopefully, level of enjoyment, and motorcycling just happens to be the example that I've alighted on. So, you know, if any of you out there are that way inclined, tell me why. What does it matter?